Welcome to DC. You know we're out at the USA Cap. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Now how you gon' act on you gon' be right back. Well, we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere.
Hey y'all, it's your girl K Stu, and y'all know what we here to do. We here to talk about that Love and Marriage DC. Woo, y'all, as a Washingtonian, y'all know I'm home team all day, every day. So when I saw this show was coming on, I was so excited because I've watched many franchises, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've watched The Real Housewives of Potomac, Atlanta, Orange County. I watched them all. So when I saw DC, I was like, oh yeah, DMV is, we jumping on the map. So there was no other way for me not to review this show every single week. And I do want to apologize to you for season one, episode 1, because not only did I have a watch party here in my house, but the footage was all messed up. There's no way I could use it, so I wasn't even able to come on here and let you know what was going on for episode 1. But trust and believe, I got it together. Episode 2, and from there forth, we're going to be right here, and we're going to be talking about Love and Marriage DC. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the cast. Chris and Monique Samuels. Let me tell y'all something. As a Washingtonian, I'm a Washington Redskin fan. I know we're now called the Commanders. I don't even want to hear it. But I'm going to just say, I'm going to just throw it for the throwback real fast. And I'm doing that because Chris Samuels was actually a Washington Redskin. He wasn't a Washington Commander. He was a Redskin for 9 years, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all, Chris Samuels was actually one of my favorite players because he really got in that game and he made sure that he took his job serious, y'all. And we was getting some wins when we had Chris Samuels on our team, y'all. So that's the first member. His wife is Monique Samuels. Monique was a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. And I used to watch that show, but I really loved the show when she joined the cast because to me, she gave a new flavor to it. And she wasn't afraid to speak her mind. She didn't care about them green-eyed bandits. We're not even going to talk about that show, y'all, because that's a whole nother story. But anyway, she got into a little incident. We just going to call it an incident because I don't condone no type of violence. But all I can say is don't cash no check your ass can't cover. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anywho, Jamie and Raina Tyler. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. The Tylers are beautiful couple. They've been married for 26 years. They have 3 gorgeous children. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. And their youngest son, Jason, like, he is my inspiration. Listen, if you don't know about the Tylers, then you need to find out about the Tylers. Jamie is a co-founder and co-owner of J&J Entertainment. Y'all, they throw the best parties in DC. And I ain't just saying that because they're on the show. I'm saying it because I've attended at least 9 of their parties that they've hosted. And I've never been disappointed. I wasn't upset about the parties. It was nothing but a class act and good fun and lots of partying, like they said on episode 1. We ain't got time to be doing no Q&A. We is going to party like it's nobody's business. And they were celebrating their 26-year anniversary. So congratulations again to you all on that happy anniversary. And Raina is his wife. She's a successful entrepreneur. I used to do business with Raina. I actually am an entrepreneur myself, and one of the businesses that she was in, she was actually like my mentor in the business. But I just want to tell y'all, Raina is beautiful inside and out. She really cares about other people, and she wants everybody to be successful. So I'm so excited for her. I'm so, when I would see her a couple of times doing like little pop-ups on the franchise of the Housewives, they'll be at their parties or something like that. I was like, you know what, Raina, are you going to be on the show? Are you going to be on the show? And she would just kind of laugh, ha, ha, ha. But I can't. So when I saw her and Jamie on Love and Marriage DC, I was just totally excited. But listen, don't think just because I have somewhat of a personal relationship with them that it's going to be sugar-coated on my review on the show, because it's not going to be that. Nope. I'm going to talk about them just like I talk about anybody else. And if they on there acting crazy or looking crazy, I'm going to say that too. So anywho, last but definitely not least, we have Ashley and Quicksilver. Y'all, Quicksilver is one of the hottest DJs in DC. He's been in the industry now for over 20 years. And his wife, beautiful. Y'all, listen, She is a gorgeous woman. But I don't think she's just gorgeous on the outside. I also think she's gorgeous on the inside as well. Because one thing I've been realizing about her in these last 2 episodes is that Ashley gonna tell you like it is. She ain't about to hold her tongue. I think I need to find out when her birthday is, because she's almost giving me Aries vibe. Like, I'm an Aries, but she's giving me that Aries vibe. So I'm gonna have to Google her and see when her birthday is, because I don't know, I'm just getting Aries vibes, because she's very open and honest about what's going on. We're gonna talk about that later, especially when we talk about this dinner that they had at the Samuels house this week. So anyway, the episode comes on, and Monique and Ashley meet to have, girls tay-to-tay, they're having some lunch or whatever, and they're just kind of kicking it. And they're talking about, their husbands and how they survive, having successful businesses and being married, raising children, and how hard it is. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. To me, I can tell Quicksilver is definitely a workaholic. Even to the point where he said he worked so hard that he went into exhaustion. Quick, I'm going to need you not to do that, because you're not going to be good to nobody if you fall out and you don't get up from it. So I'm going to need you to bring that back. Bring it back. So anyway, from that conversation that she and Monique are having, they're talking, and Monique is saying how her and Chris are getting ready to reach 10 years of marriage. Y'all, and that's a big deal. 10 years is a lot. And she's talking about how she wants Chris to show some more growth. And I understand what she means by that. And I don't think she means like, oh, he's just a lazy bum or nothing like. She's not saying that. But when you're married for that long, you can easily get stagnated in your relationship. And she doesn't want that for her and her husband. She wants them to continue to move, to continue and evolve and do new things. And she also wants to feel, to me, I feel like she wants to see from him that she still matters as much as she did 10 years ago. But we'll talk about that later on in the episode as we're going down. And we had to talk about the conversation that she had with her husband. So they're at the lunch and they're talking to each other. And, they're laughing and having a good time. Because y'all know what PO, if you don't know what PO is, PO means pull out. You know what? I hear people say that all the time. Like, oh yeah, I just used the pull out method. All right now. Y'all keep talking about something. I don't know about no kids, but that pull out method don't always work. Y'all better be careful with that. But anyway, so Ashley is talking about how she's going to get some Botox so she can stop sweating. Listen, I really want to research that, because like, as I'm getting older, and we're not going to talk about how old I am, but as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that when I work out, that I do sweat a lot more. And I never used to sweat when I was younger. That wasn't an issue for me. So I don't know how bad of an issue it is for Ashley, but listen, Ashley, when you get that Botox done, let me know if it really works, because I'm really considering it. So she goes on to say, that Quick is a workaholic and how she's missing him. And, I feel like Ashley, we as mothers, sometimes we get overwhelmed. And when you have a husband, you want your husband to step up. You want your husband to be like, listen, don't worry about this. I got it. Or go pamper yourself today. I'm going to take care of the kids. We want to hear that. We like to feel that. That's important to us. So they're talking about that. And then we're going to go on to the next the next scene, because Quicksilver is at a meeting and he's talking about the CIAA event that took place in Baltimore this year. We all know that CIAA normally takes place in Charlotte, but this year they decided to host it in Baltimore, Maryland. So guess who's on the venue? Nobody else but Quicksilver. I mean, of course, there's other people on the venue, of course. But Quicksilver is talking to his manager, and he's talking about how they already have him set up for 15 events, 3 days of events, like day and night, pretty much. Because, as a DJ, the party don't get started until after 12 o'clock anyway. So if he ain't, hyping up the party and getting the party started, it's going to be 3, 4 in the morning. So that means he probably going to have to spend the night out. And as he told his manager, Ashley is not going to be happy about this. And I wouldn't either, as his wife. Especially when we've had discussion after discussion about, slowing down a little bit and you're still, working yourself to a pulp. So I truly, truly understand, and hopefully they'll find some type of balance as we're watching these episodes continue. So next we see Monique, and she's also at the radio station. But she's talking about an opportunity with Guy Lambert. Y'all, if y'all don't know who Guy Lambert is, Guy Lambert is also a hot topic in DC on the radio. I love Guy Lambert. I've met Guy Lambert a couple times at a couple events, and he's such a cool guy. But anywho, so Monique is talking to Guy Lambert from the morning show, talking about the morning show and her going on there and actually being like a co-host, because she did some co-hosting and it must have went really well because they want her to keep coming on. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, the morning show is really nice with Monique. I have listened to it a couple times when I've gotten up out of the bed. Sometimes I don't want to get out of the bed that early. But she's also talking about that too, because she's saying how she was still traumatized a little bit from the other show and all the events that took place. I can't say, how long it takes someone to recover from something that I've never been through. So I'm not going to personally speak on anyone's trauma and their and how they feel about it, or how long it takes them to recover from it. But I'm going to just say, Monique, you know what, girl, I wouldn't be traumatized by beating a whole damn. But anywho, next we're going to go on to Chris, because Chris is having lunch with his boy Kevin. If y'all saw episode 1, Monique's friend Winter came onto the episode. She was doing she was doing an interview at the event that Monique was having, and she was talking about, all the things that she's going through. And come to find out that her and her husband are getting divorced, that apparently they're talking about that he embezzled some type of money, or, stole some money, this, whatever. So she's like, she don't know what to do. Like, she is traumatized behind this. And they just been married for less than a year. Y'all, less than a year they've been married, and you find out that your husband is maybe an embezzler, he may be like a scandal, like, it's kind of crazy. So she's going through that. So Chris Samuels and Kevin actually played football together, so they're really good friends. So Chris decides, hey man, come on, let's have lunch. Him and his boy go have lunch, and they have a discussion about everything that's going on. Let me tell y'all something. Kevin was sitting there and he was telling Chris, all the things that was going on, and, how he hasn't seen his wife, he misses her and he loves her, and all this thing. And I don't know about y'all, but I kept saying to myself, is he drunk or is he smoking something? Because he just seemed real weird to me. And I don't want to talk about anybody's addiction or whatever. If he does have one, if you have an addiction, please get you some help for it. But I just thought it was kind of weird how he was like talking. And I know we only get a snippet of the actual conversation, but it must have been a good conversation, because Chris got it from that conversation. He was totally confused. He didn't know who to believe. He didn't know if he should believe his boy or if he should believe the boy's wife. His guy's wife, because he was like, it just doesn't seem the same. And like Kevin was telling him that, he was getting these calls all of a sudden, and that was saying that he had been stealing money and money was missing. And the next thing you know, they were freezing assets and all kind of things. So I understand why Winter is like, you know what, this is too much for me. Like, they might be talking about jail time. I'm not sure. But like for her, I'm with her like, I don't know about this. Like, that's too much for me. Like, I did sign up for better or for worse, but baby, like, as soon as we get into the marriage, this is what happens. So, not really feeling that either. So I'm kind of with her on that. But anywho, so they yes. Anyway, so Chris talks to Kevin about his marriage with Monique, and he's saying how he feels like he's gotten a little comfortable, and that he probably shouldn't be as comfortable as he is now. Like, he got to kind of spice up the romance in his marriage and this. Fellas, let me tell you something. It's the little things that really makes a difference to us. Yes, we want to have romance, and yes, we want to have flowers every day and all those type of things. But sometimes it's just a little thing. It might be something as little as sending Monique a text in the morning, like while she's on her way to the radio show, and say, hey babe, I know you're gonna do great. It might just be something that small. It may be something even as little as, like, she told him he's gonna have to step it up a little bit, because this opportunity is gonna mean that he has to take care of the kids in the morning, because she's not gonna be there. Just little things, fellas. It's the little things. You got to really pay attention to your wife and understand what it is that she wants, or what it is she wants or has been looking for in this relationship. And like with them last episode, they were talking about they were supposed to journal, and apparently he didn't do it because they weren't going to meet with the counselor. It's that little thing like that makes us think that it makes a difference to you. It's the little things, Chris. So, you know, you don't have to like do a whole full-blown romance thing for her, but it's the little things that she is looking for, to making sure that you're still paying attention to her. So y'all, there's this quick little scene where the fellas meet and have a drink before, and Jamie is meeting with Quick, and then they also have another one of their buddies there. But they're talking about CIAA, and Quick is saying how, you know, his manager is telling him that, oh Lord, he got to do all these parties, and so he's confides in Jamie because Jamie and Raina has been married for 26 years, and he's like, listen, man, you're in the same industry that I am in. You know, was Raina always so cool with you, and you know, in the nightlife and the night scene? You know, was that ever an issue? And he let him know off the break, yeah, it was. It sure was. It was an issue for us too. You know, he said, but you know, it was a process. I think when you're young and you're getting married, and you know, your husband has a venture such as Jamie has, where he's got to be out and about. I mean, he has to be the scene. The scene is looking for him for everything. I think that's kind of hard on the wife, because it's going to put a lot of your morals and your values it's going to come to place. Because women are treacherous. They really are. Women are treacherous. They don't care that you have a wonderful wife and a family at home. They want what they want. They see you out here in the nightlife, and they like, ooh, he's probably making some money. He's a little attractive. Ooh, let's get him. Let's get him. That's all they're thinking about. They ain't thinking about nothing you got going on at home. So he was talking to the fellas about that. Like, you know, how Raina was like, But I think he was telling the fellas, like, once she understood the process, you know, 10 years ago, she would go through it. You know, like, what is going on? Why you out so late? I need you home. You know, you're coming home all hours of the night. But today, I think he was saying to the fellas that, hey, she gets it. She's not concerned about those things anymore. She may not necessarily not be concerned about it, but it's not an issue for them anymore. So I thought that was kind of good, because I think Quick needed to actually talk to someone, like he said, that was actually in the same industry that he's in. And so that he understands, like, what he's going through. But Quick, you still need to kind of slow down a little bit. I'm going to just say that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to take a little sip, y'all. And this, I'm not sipping on anything because it's actually in the morning. This is just my favorite drink, some cranberry ginger ale. Oh, y'all, I love it. Love it. If you don't know nothing about it, you have to get you some cranberry ginger ale. And that's not a plug for anybody, but I'm just saying, I love it. So next up, we have Quick and Ashley. Quick and Ashley are pre-gaming before the Samuels dinner party. So Monique and Chris are having a dinner party that night at their house, which is going to be an all-vegan dinner. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But anyway, so Quick and Ashley decide they're going to go pre-game. And everybody know, just like anybody else know, we're going to pre-game because what if the food ain't good? What if you still be hungry when you leave? So that was smart of them to go out and pre-game. So they added the bar. I'm going to ask y'all something. Does Ashley seem like she be sipping a lot? Like, I think when she get to sipping, she really get to sipping. Because even last episode, when they were at the event that Monique was holding, and they all in the event, she's laughing. And it's like, she even said, she was like, I think I'm twisted. I think I'm a little drunk. And I wonder, is she going to the sipping because she's missing her husband? So she's trying to compensate one for the other. You know, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna have me a couple of drinks. To kind of to bounce them off each other. So anywho, they get to drinking because they're pre-gaming. If anybody knows what pre-gaming means, that's exactly what you do. Have a couple of drinks and kind of relax before you go and do whatever you got to do later on that night. So he's tell her about the events that he signed up for at CIAA. And of course, she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, this is why you brought me out, because you're trying to soften me up. Let me tell y'all something, fellas. Y'all think y'all slick, because you know when you about to hit us with something, then all of a sudden you be extra nice. You want to take us out to dinner. Hey, baby, go put on that nice little dress that you like. Listen, we hip to y'all. We hip to y'all. So anyway, so he did that to soften her up a little bit. And she was hip to it, y'all. She was hip right to it. And she told him, she was like, it feels good to be appreciated, period. She wanted him to know that she appreciates their marriage, but she just wants him to be around a little bit more. She doesn't want him to be gone so much. She wants to be with her husband and hang out with him. You know, a lot of people are married to their best friend. And that's a good thing. I know some people be like, I wouldn't want to be around my husband that much. Well, I do. I want my husband to be my best friend. I want to be able to do like they were doing that night and go pre-gaming. And we're going to laugh and we're going to talk about everything that's probably getting ready to happen the night, or whatever's getting ready to happen the night where we're going to go out, and how we're going to react to it and all those little things. So I do want to be married to my best friend. All right, y'all. So we're at the dinner now at the Samuel's house. Chris and Monique are at home, and Monique is pre-gaming because she's eating food and testing the drinks that they're going to be having that night at the dinner party. Now, this dinner party is going to be an all-vegan dinner party. Yeah, I'm excited about this all-vegan dinner party. I told my cousin, I was like, you need to have an all-vegan dinner party because she's vegan or pescatarian. I don't know if it's a difference, but she's pescatarian. And I've been waiting for her to invite me over and say, hey, cuz, I'm going to do all vegan dishes. I want you to try this out because I'm always willing to try some things. And plus, that food look good, y'all. Those meatless meatballs, they look good. So anyway, so her and Chris are, like I said, they're pre-gaming. So Chris is telling her about his lunch that he had with Kevin. And how, you know, all the things that he was saying about Winter, how he hasn't seen her. And I think even Kevin was saying how, like, the kids were asking for her, you know, looking for her and things like that. But, you know, how I guess she's just been, like, non-existent. And, I mean, I guess I can understand that. When you're going through a divorce, it's already hard enough to work through your emotions and figure out, like, what's going on. But then you want to, your ex-husband's reaching out and stuff. It's like at some point you got to say, I'm going to cut ties. So I kind of understand her side of it, but I also understand his side as well. And so he's telling Monique, like, I'm confused. Because Kevin's telling me this, Winter's saying this. I'm not really sure which one to believe. And I don't think he's trying to take sides when it comes to that. But I think he's just like, you know, I've always respected this man for many years that I've known him. And now to hear all these things that are happening to him or that he's going through, I think he feels bad for him. So Monique is like, yeah, well, guess what? I got a new job, boo. And guess who gonna have to be taking care of these kids in the morning? So Chris was like, you know what? I got it. Don't worry. I'll get up, make them some breakfast. I'll take care of the kids, get them out to school, you know, go do your thing and be successful. And I love how, for me, I think that was the one thing I loved about the Samuels when she first came on to the other franchise, Potomac franchise, was that he was supportive of her. And again, we're always on the outside looking in, but from what I can see on the outside looking in, he seemed like he supports her. I don't know how excited he was when she first talked about doing reality TV or whatever, but he had her back regardless. Like, he's like, that's my wife. She want to do it. I got her. And that's what he told her again about this opportunity with Guy Lambert. I got your back. Go ahead, get up, leave early in the morning. I got it. I can't wait to see how it actually works out, because I'm going to tell you something. Men always be like, I got the kids. Don't worry about it, this, and this. And we as mothers always got to be like, why should let the kids do this? Why the kids do that? But anywho, I think it's going to be successful. I think they're going to be okay. So he basically tells her, I got your back. Go ahead and do what you want. Go ahead and do what it is you want to do. You know, we'll make it happen. So now everyone is starting to arrive to the party. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, when Ashley and Quick came in with cups in their hand, I just kind of laughed to myself. Because you remember at the pregame, they were talking about, you know, it's going to be cool because they'll get drunk and start singing old 90s R&B songs. And I'm with them. I'm like, where's the karaoke machine? Let's get it going. But you can tell that they had already been pregame to the fact they came in with a cup. So everybody comes into the house. And Jamie, why you ain't tell Irene that this was a vegan dinner? Did y'all see her face? I'm gonna see if I can like find that thing, her face, cause like her facial expression was like, do they DoorDash? Cause I eat food. I don't want no vegan dish. I don't want to be here eating grass, y'all. I was dying laughing when she said that. She was like, all vegan. I don't eat vegan. Y'all, I'm telling you, I was cracking up laughing. I just thought that was so hilarious. I told y'all, Irena is off the hook. But anyway, so everybody gets to the house and everybody sits down at the table, and Winter shows up to the dinner. And so, you know, everybody's, you know, general conversation. So Chris is like, yeah, I had lunch with Kevin. And she's like, what? Lunch with Kevin? He was like, yeah. So, you know, and, you know, he was telling me about the things that was going on. And Monique was, she jumped right on in. Yeah, because Chris is confused. Like, he don't understand. And I'm telling Chris, how you going to be confused about this and this and this? Monique, calm down. Sometimes I think you need to calm down. Like, I sometimes think you jump in and you, like, try and talk for Chris, and he didn't ask you to do that. He got it. He knows the relationship he has with his friend. He didn't need you to validate what he was saying or what he felt. So anyway, Winter wasn't feeling it though, y'all. Winter was like, I don't understand what you mean. Like, what are you confused about? Like, he did X, Y, Z, and that's what I'm getting out of this. Like, it's nothing to be confused about. But again, you can't tell him how to validate his friendship with a guy that he's respected for so many years. So I just thought that was kind of crazy, but we're going to see what happens, because I think it's a little bit more to that. Because for me, I think Winter just doing a little too much. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like she's a little extra. So anyway, so the Samuels are talking about how they're going on their African trip. And so everybody's talking, and Chris is talking, and Monique starts to cut him off. And he shushes her. Shh, shh. Oh, shush. Y'all, if everybody's table at the, if I had $1 for everybody whose face was kind of crazy after that moment, I would be having $8 right now, because everybody's face was like, ooh. Yeah, I thought we was going to have a Martin moment, because even Monique was like, don't do that. As soon as a black woman be like, don't do that, because see, you about to mess this whole party up. That means she about to put y'all asses out. Soon as she be like, don't do that, she about to be like, it's time for y'all. Y'all, you know what? We sorry, but like, this dinner party about to be over, like now, because I ain't feeling that an argument about to start. Because you doing too much. So, y'all, I'm saying, I really thought I was about to have a Martin moment, and they're going to be like this. Everybody get out, get to stepping. It's time to go. But they actually calmed down. They worked it out, and I was happy, because I was like, oh, Lord, they great to put everybody out. And I'm like, Irina probably happy anyway, because she's like, I don't want to eat this vegan stuff anyway. So, is the party about to be over? So, anywho, so they're sitting there, and they're talking about, the trip that's coming up, and how the kids are excited, and Monique is saying how, she really wants her kids to, because they homeschool their children. They do not go to, like, public school. So she's saying how, they've talked about Africa, and, so she actually wants them to go over there. So not only are they learning it on books, but they'll be able to see it in real life. Y'all, and I saw the pictures and the clips that they had from that trip. They went to, Giraffe Land, I think is what it's called, where the giraffes are actually like right there. Y'all, and it was beautiful. I thought that was absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait to plan my trip to go to Giraffe. Me and the boo thing, we're going to go to Africa. We're going to see like our native land. We're going to see what's going on. Because I'm like Monique. I like to, you keep talking about, you brought us here from Africa. I want to see where you took me from. I want to see like everything over there. That's what I want to do. So that's my plan. But anywho, so they're talking about that. Now, everybody starts asking Irina and Jamie, like, how did they survive 26 years? 26 years is a long time to be with somebody. And we're just talking about they've been married for 26 years. We're not even counting the time before that where they were dating, when they knew each other, when Jamie was trying to holler at her. And she was like, boy, I don't do I don't do light-skinned boys. Yeah, I think that is so funny, because I'm like, Irina, you ain't even that dark, but you don't like light-skinned boys. So that was funny when they talked about that on the last episode. And he's talking about how she been loving him ever since. So, hey, sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone and get what it is you don't like in order to get what you want. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to leave that alone. But y'all go ahead with the title since I like it. Anyway, so Irina was saying that for her, when he started doing the entertainment business and things like that, it was the infidelity for her. And everybody at the table was like, ooh. Because you don't know what people go through in their marriage, especially when they've been married for 26 years. And I think everybody at that table, because like I said, Chris and Monique have been married almost 10 years. I think Ashley and Quicksilver said they were married for about 7 years. And Winter is about to be newly divorced, so we're not going to include her. And then there was another couple there, too, that they've been married for a while. And you kind of want to know, like, how to handle some stuff. Like, I'm in a relationship, getting ready to be married, and I'm like, sometimes I just look and be like, you know what, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know. I think back on my previous marriage that I had with my son's father, and I'm thinking, like, there's probably some things that we could have done better. We should have had more friends that were actually married so that we can learn from them. We should have had like a couple that had been married for a really long time that we could have used, like a mentoring couple, and just kind of hang out with them once a month. So these are things I'm going to be implementing in my new relationship, maybe marriage. But anywho, so the towels are talking about infidelity. And Raina was saying, well, I never caught him doing anything. It was just always suspicions. And when I tell y'all, these women in DC, some of them are vicious, y'all. They don't care. They don't care. They will ring your man's phone in the middle of the night. Even if it's just about business, they're going to ring his phone in the middle of the night. And, Raina talked about that too. And I agree with her. She said for her, talking to a woman outside of your marriage, that's cheating. And I agree, that is cheating. Because you got to have boundaries. Jamie, you got to have some boundaries. I understand that you're in the entertainment business and people are going to be calling on you for everything. No matter what. Women, men, they're going to be calling on you. But you know those women that's calling on you for the wrong reasons. You got to have boundaries with them hookers. Look, you only got my number because it's on the flyer. Don't be disrespecting my house. So I'm with you, Raina. I'm with you. Yes. So, this is another thing. She said she never caught him doing anything. There were some few text messages that that she felt in her mind that shouldn't have happened. So for me, that's inappropriate. But now they didn't say how many years ago this was, but we just gonna say it was 2-3 years ago. Now, if you've never really been caught cheating, at what point do we say, okay, I'm not even worried about that no more? And maybe that's why he was saying to Quick at the lunch that, back then she would be concerned about things like that. But now she's like, that's part of the process. This is my man. He coming home to me. He loves me. He's with me. We're doing X, Y, Z. I'm not even going to concern myself with the other things. That's what you call growth. This is why Monique and Chris, DJ Quicksilver and his wife Ashley, these are why they're saying they want to be around like-minded people. You have to be around like-minded people that are going to help you grow, that are going to help you build, and that are going to be able to teach you something. You don't want to be the smartest person in your crowd. You always want to be able to learn something from somebody else. So I agree with Monique when she said that. So I applaud Monique for starting this franchise with like-minded people who are doing like-minded things. So I think it's great. And I think it's great to see black excellence on the TV screen. We need representation, y'all. And it doesn't have to be a screaming match or a twerking battle in order to see black excellence. So I applaud you again, Monique Simons, for starting this franchise and giving us something else to look for. So the winner starts talking about Kevin being sued, and she was saying it's swindling money. Like, the looks on the faces again, y'all, like, if your expression could tell a story, them stories that would have been told at that table would have been something, y'all. It would have been something else. So anyway, so Ashley is like, because she starts to tell him how when Kevin would leave, he would go and live he went home to his parents' house. She was saying how he lived at home with his mom and dad now, and now how he was living in a basement apartment. So she said, when I met him, I'm thinking like basement apartment, like Georgetown, this. And she was like, no, basement apartment of your parents' house. So Ashley asked a question. She was like, yeah, you know where he lived at when y'all was dating? And so everybody was like, so Winter got upset about that. Like, don't come for me like that. But I mean, it's a valid point. If I meet a man, I'm going to ask him, where do you live? And who you live with? And, like, I'm sure you've seen that basement apartment. Was it at his mom's house? Did he lie to you and say, my mom and dad are staying with me? Like, because I know men tell those stories, too. Like, oh, yeah, my mom not staying. She's staying with me. I'm not staying with her. And it could be a whole nother situation. But I thought Ashley had some valid points. So next week's conversation is going to be absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait to see the continuation of this. Because in that continuation of this, she's asking her, so you're telling me you are a relationship coach, but you missed some little things, like where he lived at and who he was staying with, or like what he was doing with his money. Like, I don't know, y'all. So next week is going to be good. I can't wait to see what's happening. But again, I thought that was a revalid point because I really want to see how Winter is going to rebuttal this situation. Because I actually told her, like, I mean, you talking about you a relationship coach, but I mean, you've been divorced once, and the next one is a scammer. Ooh. Clutching my pearls, that's what I say. I don't know about y'all, but I gave this episode a 7. I get a 7 out of 10, y'all, because, again, like I said, I see the vision that Monique has for this franchise, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what else is coming, what they're going to have planned. Like I said, I can't wait till next week and we see how Winter rebuttals this conversation that Ashley's having with her. You know, I hope that, you know, they work it out, but it's going to be good, y'all. I can't wait. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. That's all I got. I ain't got no more to say. Next week, I'm actually going to go live. It's going to be Monday mornings about 10:30. And we're going to do this live. This week, I want to do a pre-recording because I just want to get this out there to everybody. I talked about it last week, how I was going to go live. And like I said, I had technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to do that. But now that I have those taken care of, I will be live every Monday, 10:30 a.m. And we're going to talk about Love and Marriage DC. Peace out. See you next week.